Dear viewers, welcome to Tell It As It Is TV. We'll be bringing you ancient and modern true life stories with graphic images.
Please note that characters and time environs are fictional.
Prophetess Afiba Afia is the General Overseer of Alpha Cross Ministry. This is one of those Christian gatherings or meetings that fellowship in the early hours to middays of midweeks, especially in West Africa. People leave their businesses of the day and takes permissions from their various works to just attend. Most likely because they see visions and revelations for them without a proper solution after extorting money from them. Though there are some genuine men and women of God running and overseeing some of these ministries, there is also lots of fakes likewise. Some seek solace from the marine and underworld. Some are occultic who pays homage to some grandmasters in some evil altars. They parade themselves as pastors, prophets, prophetess, ministers and what have you. So for our viewers, please be careful where you go in search of miracles and prophecies. Now we have digressed a little. Let's go back to the story of the day. Prophetess Afiba is a 40-year-old drop-dead gorgeous, charming, elegant woman. But unfortunately, she is an agent of the marine who is on a mission to deceive believers and lure souls who lust after her beauty to the underworld. Her assignment and interests are to go after women. She is single and powerful, but men are scared to pursue her due to the powers she possesses. She is a good preacher and her prophecies are second to none. Prophetess Afiba's house was an elegant oasis. The dim light from the oil lamps flickered in the corners of the room, casting long shadows on the crimson curtains that adorned the walls. With soft music playing in the background, the scent of exotic perfumes lingers on, and the air was thick with incense. Her beauty was disarming, her soft smile, her warm eyes, her flawless skin. Akua had always admired Afiba, but tonight felt different. She had been invited for a private discussion. Something special. Prophetess Afiba greeted her warmly, gave her a hug, and ushered her in with a delicate touch that sent shivers down Akua's spine. She asked Akua to sit down as she sat gracefully on her ornate chair, her eyes fixed on Akua. An eerie calm filled the room as if the very spirits of the deep waters were watching them. The conversation flowing effortlessly, but Akua could feel an undercurrent she couldn't quite place. Afiba's eyes lingered longer than usual, her voice softer, more intimate. Prophetess Afiba, with a playful smile, stood up, walked seductively towards Akua, and sat beside her. "You've been so loyal, Akua, a blessing to this ministry. I've been thinking you deserve something more, something deeper." Akua's heart raced, her mind confused but entranced. Afiba leaned closer, her fingers brushing lightly against Akua's hand. It was a touch that carried promises. Once Akua hadn't expected but couldn't resist. Without realizing it, she had been drowned in it. The night unfolded in a haze of emotions, passion, and blood boundaries. It wasn't until early morning light seeped through the curtains when the sun set from the east that Afiba gave Akua a tickle as she still asleep on her queen-size bed. "Wakey wakey, eggs and bacons." She sluggishly wakes up, stretches and yawns, looking surprised, her head spinning, her thoughts a jumble. She told herself it was harmless, just a moment of weakness, nothing more. I slept here? Curiosity piqued. Yes, sweetheart. Afiba leans forward and kissed her. You were so tired. Oh, my husband must have been calling. Akua starts, looking for her phone. Relax, Akua. I already handled it. How do you mean? He called thrice already while you were still deep asleep. So I have to pick the call and told him you were very tired after our vigil last night. Oh goodness, Akua exclaims. Enjoy your breakfast while I attend to something else. There is nothing to worry about, my dear. Your husband was happy to know that you are safe with me. And then she left the room. When night falls that very day, Akua's sleep was restless. She found herself in a strange place, standing at the edge of a vast dark river. The water shimmered, reflecting an unnatural glow. Around her, other women stood silently, their eyes wide with mixture of fear and awe. At the center of it all was a towering figure, a beautiful, terrifying mermaid, draped in jewels and adorned with a crown that glittered in the moonlight. At her side stood Prophetess Afiba, no longer the charming woman from earlier, but a servant to the Supreme Mermaid. She held her head low, her eyes fixed on Akua. Standing right on her right are Blessing and Catherine from the same ministry. The Supreme Mermaid in a commanding voice. Akua, Blessing and Catherine, you are now one of us. You will wield power over your household, over your husbands or partners. The world will bend to your will, but you must remain loyal. You must bring others to us, just like Afiba, my loyal servant, has brought you. The trio of Akua, Blessing and Catherine tried to speak, to protest, but no words came. The cold water lapped at their feet, drawing them closer to the edge. The other mermaids watched, their faces emotionless, as the Supreme Mermaid stretched out her hand, ready to mark them as one of her own. The morning after, Akua woke with a start, her heart pounding. The dream had felt so real. She could still feel the cold touch of the water and the mermaid's piercing gaze. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of it. Later that morning, over breakfast, she shared the dream with her husband, Kofi. His brow furrowed as he listened. His hands tightened around his cup. That doesn't sound like just a dream, my dear Akua. We should pray about this, and perhaps you should talk to Prophetess Afiba. Maybe she can help you understand it, Kofi added. Akua nodded, though unease plagued at her. She couldn't shake the image of the mermaids or the way Afiba had looked at her in the dream. When Akua arrived at the church later that day, she sought out Afiba. The prophetess welcomed her with a serene smile, but something in her gaze felt different now, more knowing. Akua, nervous, trying to hide her anxiety. I had a strange dream last night, prophetess. There was a river, and you were there, with mermaids. Even Sister Blessing and Sister Catherine were also there. And the most terrifying thing amongst all was that we all had tails like fish. Afiba's smile didn't falter. Instead, she leaned forward, her eyes locking onto Akua's. Prophetess Afiba is calm with a hint of satisfaction. It wasn't just a dream, my dear. What you saw is your new reality. You have been chosen. The power is yours now, and what you do with it is up to you. Akua's breath caught in her throat. She stared at Nana, disbelief clouding her thoughts, but the weight of the prophetess' words pressed down on her. Somewhere deep inside, she knew it was true.
The story has just began. Find out if Akua did take Prophetess Afiba's advice or seek for help elsewhere. Watch out for part 2. Please share your thoughts about the story on the comment section. Like and share. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, we thank you in advance.